everyone should have received a link to their creep bingo sheet.
They fucking didn't, Cassie, and now's when they're going to get angry.
No, here we go. I'm popping a link into the chat. I had to pay. I only bought 250 bingo cards. So if you've gotten your card,
how much is a bingo card?
Look, it was the investment. I wanted everyone to have a good time. I paid $25 for these bingo cards. Well worth it.
So your patron money is being put to good use.
It's going right back to you guys, right? There's the link. If you didn't get your bingo card, check your spam. And if you didn't get one, click on the link and you should be generated one that's unique to you. There is a prize.
Niamh says, it says free on the bottom.
Yeah, she says that in all caps as well.
It's free. It's free for 10, Niamh and Laura. Okay, so 10 is free. The first 10 is free. There's 200 of you. Right? That's the last bit of shit I'll take from you guys.
Do not fuck with Cassie.
Do not fuck with Cassie. Don't.
That's part 2 of that documentary.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with Cassie.
And certainly not while Harry's here, because he will jump to my defense at any given moment.
Harry's going to have someone in one more day of sitting in that room full of dead things, and Harry's done for. Continuously fucking himself against the window of his living room. Neighbors baffled. Leaving that print, you know, like when a bird fly. Often horror movies do that. A bird has flown against the window and left a kind of oil print of itself.
Like kind of
yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Where will there be instructions for the bingo? I had a lot of issues.
Jen had a lot of questions today when we were setting this up, right? Basically, it's like
Jen and I were given a simple task.
What is on your sheet is elements to some of the stories tonight that are like, they could be any creeps. They're things we've seen before. People faking illness. Someone gets buried at sea. Anyway, you mark that off your card when it's told during a story, and the first person to get 4 in a row wins something unconfirmed.
Aisling, your wild children in the background.
If you printed yours, that's totally fine. You just knock it off your
sheet. Up, please. I'm on a Zoom.
Cassie looks visibly upset.
Sorry,
already.
I just can't listen.
That's the first DNA. You can unmute yourself and shout bingo when you.
Or they could raise their hands or something.
Oh, we're not.
It's like a buzzer.
Look at everybody.
Now,
Sophie, is it left to right or up to down? Either or.
Is it bingo?
Oh,
it's 4 in a row. I too have never played bingo.
What
even though
you guys,
what age are you? You're 19.
Bingo is one of the consistent joys of my life. A little bingo hall down in Clare Castle with my nana was one of my favorite things to do on a Friday night.
That's where Cassie got the shift.
I was once in the bingo hall there on South Circular Road by the mosque. Anyone been there?
Jesus Christ, no. And I lived there. It's rough. You wouldn't go there. My granny warned me. The first thing she said to me when I moved to South Circular Road 5 years ago was never to go into that bingo hall.
It's fucking amazing.
It's in the National Stadium.
Boxing ring.
I was about to say, is it the National Stadium?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. I had sung songs there.
Yeah.
Danielle Chambers knows the joy of Clare Castle.
So what they do is they bus in all the old people from everywhere and they drop them off and everyone shuffles in. But just at the entrance, they have this amazing craft section, which is all of getting the water in there.
Oh, Jen's gone.
Anyway, hand knitted, all like for the baby, like baby blues and kind of very white shite booties and bits of garbage. So they funnel them in through there and then into the bingo. And I thought, great, this will be a light-hearted event. It fucking wasn't. It was an intense, high-octane, very stressful thing that was expensive. So you could buy the bingo sheets and the big black markers, great fun to use. But you had to be on the ball. Like the numbers are coming at you about 1,000 miles an hour. There was also people using electronic machines.
Oh yeah, I like those serious electronic people.
Yeah, they were like 20 quid just to have the machine. Couldn't bring your own.
You know, I live right beside where the flats are playing bingo every week at the moment.
Is that not? I actually wanted to stop by.
I can hear
and
it.
Go.
Yes.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. Like I could pitch up and play myself from the other side of the railing, I guess.
Yeah. Shouting, screaming.
I don't know what's up for grabs. And what's up for grabs with tonight's competition, Cass?
It's
Harrier
TBC.
Used underwear after 10 kegels.
It's TBC.
Yeah. Well, it's a tote. It's actually going to be an excuse.
No, John. Why would you mention the totes?
Because I'm in the studio. I have 5 remaining.
Those 5 are already owed to people.
Well, they are. They're spoken for.
It's the joy of fucking winning creep bingo. Then is the prize.
Can I say something about the way that people are going to alert us to the fact that they have bingo?
Yeah, they can unmute themselves and shout bingo.
Okay, can they?
Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, now Cassie, you have once again sparked off a tote rage over in the comments. Lads, I promise I'll put up a tote post this week. I will get the last of the addresses. They do exist. People have received them.
They're just full of corona now.
I know that one person, in fact, has received several.
Wet from the coronavirus.
It's amazing how this is amazing how some people are giving out about not getting them, but no one complains when they get multiple ones.
Rebecca Murphy was cradling her toad earlier. Yes, I wanted to just point out, even from Unit 3 of the Hollis Street, I was putting creep addresses on envelopes.
Guys.
Still couldn't. I'm so dedicated. Still can't fucking finish the job though.
Something amazing happened. You remember a couple of weeks ago, I was like, "Oh, I moved into this new house, and can we see the totes?" Yeah, I'll get one out of the thing now in a minute. But remember,
I'll get one of the American creeps because they on post told me no dice for them for ages. I will receive.
I remember I was saying that I had lived in this new place, didn't know anybody, and how did you get to know your neighbors, blah, blah, blah. Someone messaged me and was like, I know this is really creepy, but I am your neighbor. I heard you say that on the Creep Dive, and now I'm in not 1, but 2 bopping local WhatsApp groups.
Get out of here.
Yeah. The creep bringing communities together.
Beautiful.
And there I was thinking if people found out about this, I'd be murdered.
Finished.
Yeah. Oh.
Murdered.
Yeah, that you'd wake up dead. One of my mother's favorite phrases.
It is a funny old time to get a stalker. It's probably the best time to get one.
I mean, what are they going to do?
Dun, 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 dun.
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sophie, you just gave us your sing song. You haven't given us the full briefing of your section.
Like a ghost sighting. I'll just hang my head in shame and kegel quietly in this corner.
Breach, Sophie. Good fucking point. We'll have to get rid of that from the fucking. But don't worry, whoever you are, Kura. We'll get rid of that out of the recording.
And someone lives somewhere in the middle of New South Wales.
I could read her fucking address.
Okay,
you could not.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, listen.
Never happened.
I have 10 totes here.
Okay.
Just FYI, so there is a prize.
Is this just the part of the show where is it the tote gloat?
No, look what I have, right? Look what I have. This is so exciting. I have both a tote in this hand. I have an envelope in this hand. I will put the tote into the envelope and post it tomorrow for the winner.
Total recall. Neve's on fucking fire today. All right, time to launch one section. Can we please?
Oh, right. Well, bingo is ongoing throughout the whole night, isn't it?
Bingo is ongoing throughout the whole night.
And what do you want to do? Creeping for love at the top of the show? Yes. And then make everyone sit awkwardly? Or
for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get on some...
So tell us now, were there many people coming at you, Sophie?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. Now, I was saying to Cass, I'm pretty convinced that one of these person is a catfish or indeed a cassfish.
I didn't do it.
Because,
what's happening here?
I don't know. We're kind of bopping. Is it a bit of...
I'm just playing a bit of background. Do you think I'm sexy to set the tone?
Oh, I like it.
as you read them out.
All right.
Now, lots of people are wondering about Full House, which seems to be a bingo term I am not familiar with.
It's a bingo term, but not in this bingo because everyone has the same things, just in a different order. So everyone would get a full house at the exact same time.
I can see Michaela Sullivan nodding. I think
Yes.
people
See how that would be problematic?
Says Sarah Lally.
It's usually a line in a full house, but tonight we play. I'll give out 4 prizes. The first 4 lines.
I can't believe people can speak bingo, and I've just been left.
I can't believe you've lived your whole life without the joy of bingo.
I think joy
is overstating.
If
you can't take pleasures from the simple things in life, then
Colleen, we go up, scroll up, and click the link. George every Sunday.
Here, I'll keep posting it in. The George bingo was unbelievable crack. I was there for George bingo, and then they did a drag performance of Sister Act. And if anybody knows me,
oh my God, that is your night, your perfect night.
Absolutely.
Although that's not what you gave for your perfect date on Creeping for Love.
Okay, go for it. Now this is how rumors start.
Okay. So, what did I do? Oh yeah, I put a post on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So.
And an email address.
And I invited people to email their personal ads to creepingforlove@gmail.com. And I got some creeps. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 creeps and creepettes creeping for love tonight on the inaugural, what do we call it? Oh yeah, the Creep Vibe. So what I'm going to do, how this is going to work is that I'm going to read out the personals. So we've got like creep behind door number 1, creep behind door number 2. And if you like what you hear, then you just email creepingforlove@gmail.com, subject line, creep behind door number 4, for example.
Sorry.
And then we can bring creeps, seeking creeps together, and it'll be beautiful.
There's a couple here wearing face masks, and it's like
that's
the
their
AIB
self-care
mortgage
Thursday
ad no one ever fucking asked for. This is their self-care. Beautiful.
I got chatting. Is this for Patreons only? Lizzie, who are you? Why are you here? Get out. We have an interloper. I'm looking for the face
Lizzie
mask
would make a
because we got chatting last week.
I've distracted you. I'm sorry. I realize not everyone can see what I'm seeing as well, so it's annoying. So I'll stop doing that.
I'm now looking for the face mask lads to just
Amelia Smith
rekindle our chats from last week. We were saying they looked a bit like Leatherface.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Did you remove a bit of your mask for your goatee, sir? Yeah, very good.
Very good. Now everyone's flicking through looking for Amelia.
It looks a lot like a used Johnny from here, Mr. Mann, so I stopped waving it around there like a feather duster.
Will we ask them to unmute and introduce themselves?
Go on.
Yeah,
go
actually,
first.
if you unmute,
that would be
Amelia. Click unmute, and then everyone can make a noise, and everyone can see you.
Amelia's like, didn't ask for this.
Hello, I'm Amelia.
What an entrance. Thanks,
Welcome
guys.
to Self-Care Thursdays.
Excellent work, guys.
Anyway.
Okay, so did everyone get the gist there of the Creep Vibe and how you can request to make connections with like-minded creeps?
Yes, you email Sophie back at creepsinlove@gmail.com and just register your interest in one of the creeps.
Give us one.
It doesn't matter if you already have a partner, Kura. A few of us were discussing that you might pause your marriage just to see. Just maybe take a look,
Creeping in love does not mean penetration.
No, it's like window creeping. Okay, let's go.
Creep Vibe for friends. This is the Creep Vibe for friends. But yes, we could do a platonic Creep Vibe in next week.
Creeps holding hands.
That's how
penetration from afar, exactly.
PFA.
Thank you, Becca.
Penetration.
Okay, cool. So who do we have behind creep door number 1? So these are obviously, I'm protecting identities here, but
unlike your one who's totally
your one in New South Wales. Okay, so creep door number 1. Okay, try not to mutter under my breath to myself. Okay, creep door number 1 is
Harry.
No. Okay, Creep door number 1 is a creepette seeking a creepette for a creeping, freaking, leaking time. I'm hungry and thirsty, and oh, I will be eating and drinking. We're still talking about cannibals, right? Winky smiley face. The creep dive character that I would most like to romance with my body is Jen O'Dwyer, certified creep, because she's a big ride with big dyke energy who happens to be funny as fuck. If she wasn't hubbed up, turtle loving dick, I'd totally be sliding into them DMs. This is the one.
Dyke energy.
No, I would just say a word of advice is probably bad to start a new potential relationship by, sort
Talking
of
about
being in
fisting
love with-
someone else.
Yeah. It's just, it's a pedestal there now.
It's difficult, but for anyone who was always listening and being like, I'm fucking funnier than Jen, here's your chance. This is the one that you guys were like, has anyone responded yet? And I was like, there's no way I'm letting Jen in on this ahead of time. She needs to experience this raw on the Zoom.
This
Hold on a
is Jen
second.
herself, clearly.
Okay, wait. So next point that that creep door number 1 says, the creep dive character that I most relate to is the doll in Jen's house, creeping around all day watching Jen.
By the way, the doll is missing and has been missing for a couple of days.
I mean, that's fantastic, I think.
Okay, ideal date. Short stroll down a dark, dilapidated alleyway. Then I'll be off. Bye. Secret talent. I can do this fantastic lip pop, if I say so myself. I'm yet to find someone to agree with me, but also yet to find someone to challenge my lip popping abilities.
Are you talking? What are you saying there? Lip pop?
Lip pop. Like, is it that?
Oh, gotcha.
Guessing.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Creepiest thing about me, likely to hide behind the curtain and watch you sleep. Yeah, you know I'm there. Yeah, we're sharing a bed, but it just feels so fucking good to creep on you from behind a curtain. Likely to jizz in my pants in the process. This girl is freaking deadly.
She's
a little
carrying
about me.
jizz up her vaginal canal in order to jizz herself.
Jizz.
That's forward thinking. Behind a curtain, really, release the valve and jizz just pours out of her.
I just everyone should be, I hope everyone is flicking through all the different little pictures trying to guess what creepette is the author of this stunning personal ad. And everyone
I feel like I know who it is. No, maybe not.
This is a creepette seeking a creepette as well. Just everyone bear these key facts in mind. So a little about me. Well, I guess this is where I get somewhat serious about things. Creepette, genuinely seeking a fellow creepette for a bit of romance, laughing, fun, cuddles, creeping, possibly love, who knows? I'm a big old romantic at heart, but I can be creepy about it if you do. Like I'll kidnap you in the late evening as you walk from your car to your house for a surprise moonlit picnic. You'll soon forget the 4 hours you spent panicking in the bush. I like to laugh and like to make people laugh and happy. I like to love, if you know what I mean. Yes, that does mean my libido be popping. What do I do for work, you ask? At the moment, watch documentaries and masturbate. Not at the same time. They are 2 separate tasks, usually. But I guess that's what everyone's doing for work right now, so nothing special in that area.
Blindness across the country in a
I'm
way.
a very chilled human. Some say if I was more laid back, I'd fall over. Still not sure if that's a compliment or an insult. I like to meditate, paint, write, watch things, yoga, climb things. I dislike drama. The first sniff of it, I make like a bomb and blow up any idea of courtship. Bye, Felicia. Real ideal date. Build a fort, get our favorite foods and watch a beautiful anime movie or go for a creep deep in documentaries. Hit me up. P.S. I was serious about the lip popping and Ridey Jen O-D-W-Y-E-R.
Is lip popping a lesbian activity?
No.
It's not like pegging of the mouth.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What's wrong with that?
That is visibly upset.
Oh, the baby's here.
The baby's
Come
here.
I love
on.
that baby.
He's
Okay.
gonna love this section.
So literally,
So what do we do now with that information? So
So
if you
woman
like the
is
sound
the-
of that,
coolest sounding woman ever. If you're a creepette looking for a creepette, then put her maybe jot down, creep behind door number 1.
documentary masturbator.
Or door number
That's what
1.
we could
Just
call
door
it.
number 1. Door number 1.
Fine.
If you want, or a documentary masturbator, like I definitely won't. Will I intersperse with these? Because there's
Yeah,
5
perfect.
more. Will I do one more now,
Let's
and then we'll
one
do
more and go to
another
the story.
Yeah, what
Okay.
else you got?
Okay, creep behind door number 2.
I already know who this is going to be.
Do you?
You can't, Jen, this is blind creep dating. Like
I literally, there was no way to identify from what I just said who I was looking at.
Jen.
You guys, chill.
Jen. Okay, so door number 2, creep. The title they've chosen for themselves is just okay, I am a creep 32 male seeking creep male. The creep type character that most resembles me is Travis the chimp, equal parts sophisticated and feral, nearly always adorable, fond of wine. The creep type character that I would most like to romance with my body is Somerton Man. He's well dressed, likes to travel, into poetry, an air of mystery, and little to no baggage.
Very good. Look at you there. You're absolutely loving your own fucking jokes. Cannot keep his own. Look, having a great time. Sorry, Steph. Please continue.
Damn proud he should be. It's a good dating profile.
Okay, my ideal date is, that's a tough one. I'd have to say April 25th. Because it's not too hot. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Perhaps a trip to the Hugh Lane followed by a pint in the Shakespeare. I can dazzle you with how much I know about art and drinking, and I'm familiar with all the exits. Now, this one's very interesting to me. You'll see why later in the show. Okay, my secret talent is this is where anonymity might die. I used to taxidermy birds into things you can wear.
So obvious.
A raven into a hat, a pheasant into armor, that sort of thing. I once rang the Bray Swan Sanctuary looking for specimens. How often do swans die? I inquired. Would you let me know when the next one, They said they'd call me back. They never called me back. It's going to be blown right open here. The creepiest thing about me is my home. I was going for elegant drawing room, but it's more Victorian. Backstreet anatomist's lair.
Class.
A little about me. Here's your chance to sell yourself. I'm just a Dan Cooper standing mid-flight at an open airplane door looking for someone to take my second parachute.
Beautiful.
It's brilliant.
Funny. It's poetic.
Poetic. I mean, so what is not to like? So that is behind creep door number 2, and it is a creep seeking a creep.
Male on
Beautiful.
male.
Yes.
Let's go, guys. We have at least 5 males here, so the pool is small. The pool is
It's
small.
quality, though. Quality is
No.
not quantity.
Yes, no, and there's high quality dating fodder here.
That's excellent. Beautiful stories.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, what's
Now you
going on
must
with the...
intersperse. So, Cassie, do you want to kick us off, or will I give you my creep? I've got a very short one.
Okay, let's go with your short one.
Okay, I'm gonna come with me now as we travel back in time.
Get your bingo cards out.
I came across another one on the way to this one. It's very good. I'll say, but just a little recommendation on the side here. It is, I think I've recommended this show before, Beyond Belief. Do you guys remember that show? Early 90s show? Fucking hilarious. They tell you 3 stories that are all beyond belief in different ways. And then at the end, 2 of them are just fake and one's real. So you've invested heavily. It's just an annoying show. But their first show, episode, I don't even know what I'm telling you. This is not even my creep. Anyway, the first episode of the first series is a whopper. So I recommend going to watch that. I'll tell you all about it next week anyway. Here I am going back in time. Here's my BuzzFeed headline. Whatever I texted you, Cassie. The man who started out as a dwarf ended as a giant. Now, this is an old story, and the word dwarf is used here. I realize little person might be better, but he's going with dwarf, so I guess that's right. Sophie?
I'm
Whatever.
just looking at the Leatherface couple. Okay, they get to tell you. You guys, you're the arbitrator.
Little person.
There you go. Yeah.
Little person with
That's
small
what
stature.
they're saying, yeah.
Right. This is a strange story, and it's from a very long time ago. So put your traveling caps on, because we're going back to the year 1899. Remember that year?
Not well.
Everything was black and white. People kind of shit into buckets and fucked it out. It was a time of filth and general stink. But it was also a time of a rare medical disorder.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is incredibly rare. This is so rare, I believe, that there hasn't been another case of it. Now, because it's so long ago, there's a little question mark over whether the facts are indeed facts, or it just being very long ago. And sure, you know how it's like the story of Christ. Things get confused in the whispers along the way, and before you know it,
It's
Yeah,
on
it's
beyond
nowhere
belief.
near-
Yes.
Correct.
Christianity is just a game of Chinese whispers.
Well, yeah, but this, now I might have confused you. This is not beyond belief. This is factual. Next week's story is episode 1 of series 1 of Beyond Belief. Never mind, back in the game. Okay, the year is not 1899. The man's name is Adam. Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
So, Adam Rayner, all grand, very handsome baby, born in a place called Graz in Austria, to very average sized parents. So I think his mum was 5'6" and his dad was 5'8". They were of very regular looks, proportions, nothing to see here. 100% normcore parents. And the little baby was born and they were delighted. And, you know, he's a little bit small from the start, but nothing, you know, that's fine. And he would grow, but he sort of plateaued in his teen years at about 4'6'3". Now, my understanding from my brief Googling is that to be classified as a small person, you must be, I think it's under 4'10". So he did classify in today's standards of a small person. And everyone understood him to be that. So there was no more major kind of medical inquiries during this time. He was just a kind of smaller than average, handsome young man. So he got it in his head, Adam. It was World War I. He was saying, I'm going into the army. I've got to do my bit. So he arrived into the army, all 4'6", 3 inches of him. And they told him to go on home. He was too small. He would be of no use. Very fucking annoying, because you could see that there would be use for people of all shapes and sizes. But they told him
What, to like
anyway.
shoot him out of a cannon?
He could clean small things.
Cassandra.
Like in the way children could have been useful. Fitting small hands into things. Anyway, a year passed, and didn't he try again? But in this year, something sort of strange happened to him. So Adam grew an alarming amount, but only in a specific part of himself. Adam's fucking feet. I'm going to have to get this right, okay? So when he first tried to enlist in the army, he wore a size US 10, which is a UK
8.
6. Is it UK 8? No, it's smaller.
UK 10.
6. Or sorry, you might be right, Subs. And European 43.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. 2 years pass. Adam's feet, no, he'd grown 2 inches in height. Fair play to him. His feet had fucking doubled in size. So Adam, who was now just over 5 foot, had a size of EU 53, which is Shaquille O'Neal's sized fucking feet. And he was 5 feet tall.
Oh my God, brilliant.
Absolutely fucking mad. So where am I? So he went into the army then, and they turned him away again. They said, although your feet are enormous and impressive, you're still too small in terms of your height. So off he went, dejected and pissed off. A few years passed. He was 21. he suddenly began growing at an alarming rate, but not in a traditional sort of gradually, you look a bit different, Jesus, you're little. His hands took over next, right? So his hands began to enlarge. Now he's growing still a bit, but not. So his feet and his hands were just out, becoming unbearably massive. And then he did. He over the next decade, his whole body caught up, and he grew from that 5 feet to 7 feet 1 inch. Sadly, at the same time, his spine, as you know, you might have guessed, he had a tumor in his pituitary. You know, people that often, all the giants from history, and often people who grow to these incredible heights and or have massive appendages and things will have something on their pituitary gland, because that's I believe that's their kind of growth hormone is producing, blah blah blah. So anyway, between 1930 and 1931, he was examined by Dr. A. Mandel and F. Weinholzend, and during which time discovered he was suffering from a condition called acromegalia. So I think this is the tumor thing. So in Rayner's case, it was caused by a tumor on his pituitary gland, led to an overproduction of growth hormones in his body. And this was his reason for his enormousness. He didn't just have enormous hands and feet. He also had a kind of, I'm looking at a photograph of his. He's still remained incredibly handsome throughout, protruding forehead, jaw, as well as thick lips set over widely spaced teeth. So, and anyway, so the two doctors at the time, what year were we in? 1930, decided they were going to operate, believing the chances were small for him surviving the operation, but he was definitely going to die in the next few years if they didn't even try. And the operation was a success. So they managed to remove the tumor from his head. And although he did continue to slowly keep growing, he eventually, and now he did sadly die, but not before going blind in his left or right eye, and also losing, because that where that gland is, it was putting pressure on all the optic and all that area. So that's where the blindness. He didn't have a great time. He had to have all his fucking clothes made for him. He only had one pair of shoes for his whole fucking life and stuff like that. And just the kind of general getting around, things were awkward for him. Never had a girlfriend or anything. Sad. Or a boyfriend, whatever he would have liked. So he died at the age of 51, measuring 7 feet 8 or 7 feet 10. And he's the only man in history to be classified as both a dwarf / or small person of small stature, as well as a fucking giant.
Two ends of the spectrum.
A marvel of the human body.
That's amazing.
Mad.
Is that a madness? Imagine just the size of his feet during when he was 5 feet tall. It's just absolutely.
It sounds like he was kind of a perfect right angle at a certain point in the whole thing. Yeah.
Hi, Sonny. Look at Sonny's hair. He's got that little pope, or is that just a shadow on top of his head?
The little kind of
tuft.
Oh my God, he looks like an old balding man.
I know.
They go through that stage. Hi, son.
So cute.
Sonny,
what's going on?
Don't go away. So like Seb. Bless. All right, there you go.
Well done. Excellent story. So someone lost their sight and someone grew disproportionately large. That should be on people's bingo sheets.
Oh.
Bingo.
Bango. Okay, I have a tale that has absolutely everything in it. Like, I'm
you
giddy.
say this and then you give us no genitalia, so I hope that you're offering...
Okay, so no, it's got a Cassie level happy creep story. It's no cannibalism, no incest, no genitalia, nobody eats the other, so just get that out of your mind right now.
So it doesn't have everything.
It has a lot of stuff, right? And it's recent. It's a good recent-ish creep. Happens in Tennessee,
where all the best things happen.
It's very hard to have like a sheet open.
Someone thinks they have bingo, Cass. Could that be right?
Unmute shout bingo. Right, go on. Who?
4 o'clock.
What if you unmute yourself?
Jinx, Ginny.
Introduce yourself to the group.
4 across or down. Oh, no,
Yes,
okay. Never mind. No, it was a joke. Okay, carry on. Cassandra?
Okay. You got that's me, Cassandra. You're a good friend of many years,
Have you noticed,
Cassandra L. Delaney.
Can it be diagonal 4 in a row? Someone's asking.
Yes. If you
Bingo.
get one,
Who could have
whatever.
known it
If
would
your
be this
4
fun?
bingos touch each other, it's fine. Everyone has a card. If you haven't got a card, there's the link one more time. Okay, I'm getting into it because this is long. There's lots of detail in here.
Go.
I'm going to tell you a story about the Potters. They are a normal-ish family. And in the Potters, well, it obviously, if they're going to be mentioned in the Creep Dive, something is going to go horribly wrong, rendering them abnormal. So Janelle Potter is a young woman. She likes dogs, particularly bulldogs. She's born in 1982, and she's the second of 2 children to parents Marvin and Barbara Potter. She's kind of the little girl that never grew up. They grew up on the outskirts of Philadelphia, but by the time she was an adult, her parents picked up their lives and Janelle and moved to Mountain City, Tennessee, 2004, to better tend for Barbara's elderly mother. Barbara Potter had the power of attorney over her mother. She was her sole carer. And Marvin had relatives in the area, so it made sense that they would move to the little town of Johnson County. So Johnson County was a really small town in Tennessee where everyone knew everyone. And while it was quaint, it meant that outsiders like the Potters who came and moved there never fully integrated, never fully fit in, because it was like a population of kind of, I think it was less than 3,000 people, and they had all grown up together. And while Johnson County featured some beautiful outdoor activities like Watauga Lake and tree-filled mountains and trails, the Potters unfortunately perceived themselves as having too many physical ailments for such activity. Father Marvin, known as Buddy, was on an oxygen tank. He had been a Marine. And he was one of those kind of Marines that like to remind people that he was a Marine. So he had all his military pictures, medals, and decorations of his time at the Vietnam War on a wall in their home. Like I said, Janelle was the Potters' second child. Their first daughter, Christy, had moved out of the home after she got her degree. Is
Janelle like 20 now?
Janelle is, she's like
22?
About 22, 21, I think, when they move to, anyway, she's in 2011, I think she's 30. So 22, 23. Why
are you laughing?
Because I've been watching them do the Fresh Prince lyrics, and somebody says, "Mom got scared."
Because Cassie, you said something in the neighborhood, and they went. Mom got scared.
Someone's going, "Mom."
My aunt got scared.
It. Mama got scared.
Mama got scared.
This is beautiful.
Oh my God, where the hell's Harry gone? It's just an empty chair. It's so sinister.
Hilariously. He was just doing yoga.
He needs to relax. Okay. So there are too
many physical ailments to go outside, which is one of the most disturbing reasons ever.
Well, no, he's like disabled. He's on an oxygen tank. He's like,
so it's just him.
And his power of attorney.
We haven't got down to the things yet. Pay attention. I said this is a long story.
Okay, we're in. We're back.
That's Jen. That's cool.
Thank you. Hey, Lorna.
Okay, so the Potters' first child had moved out of home, and she had a strange relationship with her parents. Janelle was 6 years younger than Christy, and she was born with hearing loss and disability. She was classified as needing special education classes as soon as she entered kindergarten, and remained at that status until she received her diploma at high school in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. When she became an adult, she started receiving social security disability checks due to many issues, including she was a diabetic and she had anxiety issues. So she was kind of socially awkward and hung to her parents far beyond the age when most children seek to move out and break boundaries. She had a very soft, childish voice. It was almost squeaky in sounding. And
diabetics, notorious attention seekers, just FYI.
oh,
is that defaming? No, I suppose you're not defaming an Irish celebrity yet.
it's not an Irish, unless you want to just casually name someone who has.
I can't think of any Irish celebrities that are diabetic. Can you?
And they would definitely tell you all about it straight away.
There's a lot with anxiety, let me tell you. I think we're all fucking sick to the IT to hearing about everyone's fucking anxiety. Had a podcast about anxiety? I've got 3. Feeling generally nervous all the time. Yep, fascinating. Let's listen to hours upon fucking hours of how you're feeling nervous. What is the fucking attraction?
Gerald Keane. Gerald Keane has diabetes, according to the chat box.
Fuck him. Fuck his diabetes.
Yes. Boom. Whose podcast is that? Okay.
I'm only joking. Anxiety is a thing. We're all anxious. It's great. It's not. It's sorry. I retract.
Oh my God.
It's just a joke. Haha.
That was defamation for everyone who's playing bingo. So Janelle's friends were her stuffed animals. So like many do, she turned to the internet.
Just a quick aside. Did you see that little article about the Tiger King? So apparently he was riding teddies of tigers with holes in the arse under their teddy tails.
Thank you, Jen.
It was like an expose about it. And he was trying to ride the actual tigers apparently as well.
Oh no. Horrific. Would you, why would you try and ride a tiger out of interest? Because that's really dangerous.
100% met.
Okay. So Janelle turned to the internet to make friends and socialize. She had an active MySpace page. And as the internet developed further, she jumped onto Facebook. She used it as a place to reconnect with old acquaintances and make new friends. She was always posting pictures of cute dogs. And basically, every time Janelle left her house and went out, she was usually accompanied with her, by her parents. And she didn't have very good social interaction skills. So when she met locals or new people, she often tried to hug them, and then she would add them on Facebook a little while later.
Simultaneously, hug and add.
Yeah.
COVID nightmare.
Yeah. Absolutely. So she would go out, probably patient 0, right? But because she kind of wasn't adept to socializing, she would lead to these conflicts with people online. So she would befriend them and often kind of get into fights with them. And she's just constantly in the cycle of befriending people and fighting with them on the internet. So one day she's out picking up prescriptions and she meets a pharmacy clerk named Tracy Greenwell. And Tracy later said that they all felt sorry for Janelle because she was sheltered and she seemed like she was sick. Janelle befriended Tracy on Facebook and started confiding in her. And she said that at 30 years of age, she had never been in a relationship and she really wanted to fall in love. And Tracy became Janelle's connection to the community. So Tracy had grown up in the small town, knew everybody. She worked a few different local jobs. And so she was able to introduce Janelle to other people who lived nearby. And she introduced her to her brother, Billy Payne. So instantly, Janelle took a liking to Billy Payne, but Billy wasn't interested and instead he introduced Janelle to his older cousin, Jamie, who was a good bit older, drank a lot, doesn't seem to be much going on there with Jamie. Not that there's much going on with Billy, but
Janelle.
Or Janelle. Or any.
Really kind of passing the buck, aren't they?
They really are, right? So Jamie Curd and Janelle get into a relationship. And they have to hide the relationship from her really strict parents. Oh, go on!
Oh, right on. Who's that now? Lisa Orr. Oh, I hope he has
Hey.
playing his patron there beside you, whoever he is. Look at it, half face there.
Go on.
What do we have here?
Get out of the Zoom.
We
Read
have
out.
Bingo.
a secret relationship.
Yes.
Going out for the cigarettes. Cassie looks visibly upset and cannibalism.
Beautiful. She's got a lot.
Excellent.
Full house. Congratulations. The
You
total
have
is
got-
yours.
Bingo.
I'm going to put this over here.
Now, right
Somebody
to the
else just
rest of
shout
the chat
bingo.
I
bar.
also have bingo.
Bingo, bingo.
Bingo.
Well
Three
done,
bingos.
Beavers.
Bingo.
Beavers wrote her. Oh, Jesus. They're all coming
I
in
wrote
now.
mine out. So I
She wrote her own.
relationship, grows massive, went out for fags and loses their sight.
Yes, that is a bingo.
Who went out for
Hang on a
fags?
second. What
I
happened?
have a bingo too.
I also have bingo. I have it if someone went for a cigarette.
Jesus. We literally have no totes.
We have been loose with the I suppose with the things, right? So someone in one person's story goes out for fags and that's part of the story.
I went out for a smoke.
But in
You
in the
don't
chat,
count, Stephen,
gone out.
unless you're a
I
member. Stephen is just like,
Myself.
it was me. I went out for cigarettes.
Where's my tote?
It was me. I was
We'll
that one.
send you one of these to carry your cigarettes in for the next time. So yeah, that wasn't supposed to be that someone in the chat goes out for a cigarette, but seeing as so many people have done it,
Too late. The fucking
Too late.
game is wrecked. Thanks, Stephen.
right?
Keep your smoking to yourself next time.
Oh,
Shambolic. I agree, Joycer 89. Anyway,
It's not
Lisa.
a sham.
Lisa.
So there's a couple of other people there who did also get bingos.
Yeah. Bingo.
Oh, Lisa.
Lisa,
Hey,
Oh,
Lisa, oh,
dear.
congratulations. How'd you
So
have?
I got someone loses their sight, someone gets huge. Cassie was upset and a secret relationship.
Cassie, you
Excellent.
have been visibly upset according to the chat
Most
bar
of
since
this
we
time.
arrived.
Some
migraine.
people were, yeah, it was the migraines. It was you were going off there about the diabetics.
I'm sorry.
It's-
I'm sorry.
She was listening to a podcast about nervousness.
Anyway,
That was
back
an-
into the story.
well done, everybody. If you did get a bingo, send your addresses to Sophie. And
Fuck
she'll
you,
go from
fuck
there.
you. No way, I'm fielding the creep love lives. That is
Thanks
enough.
very much. She'll send you a tote and a date. Okay, so they hid the secret. They had their secret relationship. From time to time, Jamie would visit the Potter house to fix the family computer, but behind her parents' back, Janelle and Jamie would secretly spend time together. So Billy was the original guy that Janelle was interested in. He was just a typical Johnson County kid. He grew up and he went to work in the town's only plant, a factory that produced thread. He began working there after he
Jesus.
finished high school and he never
Of all
left.
things, just
Yeah.
spools of thread.
That's it.
Kill yourself.
In late
It's a phrase. That's a thing. That's what the kids say when the things are looking grim. I think that's so vanilla.
Okay. In 2009,
Nobody make eye contact with Jen.
I'll-
don't poke the
Instead,
bear.
instead, I'll say, do an anxiety podcast.
Oh, Jesus Christ, right? So in 2009, now pay attention here because we've got Billy.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Billy's working in the factory. In 2009, a female Billie Jean,
Oh,
starts
no.
working in the same factory
Impossible.
as a cleaner.
Not to
Uh,
sing the song mentally.
They fell in love and soon sparked up a serious relationship.
Jesus, the two Billies. Billy
Yeah.
squared.
She
there's a-
was her lover.
So Billie Jean moves into Bill's home, which was the house of Billy Ray Sr.
Stop now, Cassie.
Stop
There's
now.
no
There's
possible
three
way of
Billies.
anybody following this.
So I'm going
She's
to
on a
start.
Billy roll.
Absolutely stellar
That
pun.
was magnificent. You get a tote.
Where is it?
Absolutely
so-
brilliant.
Billie Jean moves in with Bill into his father's house, right? And his father lives, I think his father has moved elsewhere. He's not in the house all the time. Anyway, and in 2010, Billie Jean becomes pregnant. In 2011, she gives birth to the couple's son, Tyler. Life was good. Billy, who had previously drank a lot and had a mild addiction to prescription painkillers, stopped drinking as much, cut out the drugs, stopped dealing them as well, which was a good thing.
Yeah,
And,
good move.
they spent a lot of time together as a family. They often had Billy Sr. around for dinner and stuff. But everything came crashing down on January 31st, 2012. Just after Bill Sr. had left, intruders entered the home of Billy and Billy and shot the couple.
Fuck.
Yeah, just shot them. Sorry, I should have delivered that better, but there's a lot in this story and I'm trying to get through.
That was such a casual shooting.
So
Dead,
intruders
dead, and
entered the
dead.
home and Billy and Billy shot.
Dead. Fine.
Bill, the first Bill, male Bill's throat was also slashed. Then the intruders left the house, left everything undisturbed except for the 2 young lives they took. When the bodies were discovered, like this is so sad, Tyler, 6 months old, was still in his mother's hands, alive.
Desperate.
He was alive.
Desperate.
Oh, no.
Why would you bring that into this? You should
Why
have
have
just
you
skimmed over
brought-
that.
At least she didn't put it on bingo.
I didn't put
Fair.
it on. Baby lives. Anyway, this is actually just telling the story of Harry Potter from a different angle.
Baby.
It's like if Harry Potter was set in Hicksville, Tennessee, this is what it would have turned out like. So the murders absolutely shook the town, and horrendous details of the crime quickly became national news. And investigators began looking for suspects, and more baffling, a motive. So they spoke to the people that knew the couple and were pointed in the direction of Janelle and Jamie, because Jamie was Bill's cousin and Janelle was friends with Billy, and then subsequently Billie Jean. So, but while they had been close friends initially, online conflicts had soured the friendship. Investigators agent Scott Lee and Chief Deputy Joe Woodward interviewed Janelle at her parents' home the day after the bodies were discovered and learned of a history of harassment allegations against Bill and Billy. So apparently, according to Janelle, Bill and Billy had taken a real dislike to her and started posting comments and threats on her wall. And her
What about
face.
You
Just
diabetic, so-and-so.
So-
Just the usual.
There was loads, basically, they hated her because she was a virgin. And they threatened.
To add to the already sad diabetic.
Yes.
The hymen on top of everything.
You know,
And
like
she-
in Clueless, where she's a virgin who can't drive.
She's
That's
a
it.
virgin who can't produce
Can't drive.
insulin.
So there was
I'm joking. I'm
loads.
nothing against diabetics, just a lot.
It's just a lol.
I do think some of them are attention seeking. That's all
There's,
I'm saying.
like,
I've known
just
one.
there's
I've known one. I knew one.
213 people in here. Someone is going to be a diabetic.
I just say I knew one that was. It's anecdotal evidence.
209 of us have anxiety.
I knew. Sorry, I know.
And a further
She's
113 have a podcast. So just
Just easy there, Jen.
It's me. I need a shot.
okay. So Billy and Billie Jean had taken a real dislike to her, and they were posting daily threats on Janelle's Facebook page, and they were causing Janelle great distress. So
Virgin.
Buddy, Janelle's father, even claimed that Billy had threatened to rape Janelle because she was a virgin. And Janelle told investigators that Billie Jean hated her because she said she was too pretty to live. And just before the killings, Billy and Billie Jean had unfriended Janelle on Facebook, and she was not happy about it.
So she was unhappy that the couple that was bullying her.
Because ultimately
Okay.
she wanted friends. Now, and
Oh,
the
God, love her.
harassment, but hold on, the harassment was according to Janelle.
Now,
Yeah.
Janelle's looking a lot like. Did she slip into a
culprit.
diabetic coma and shoot the pair of the Billies?
So, soon after the interview with Janelle and Janelle's parents, investigators then went to speak to Jamie Curd separately. So he wasn't in the house with Janelle because they were still denying their relationship existed. So Jamie spoke to investigators at the sheriff's department, and he confirmed stories of conflicts, but he said nothing incriminating and agreed to take a polygraph test. But it emerged that he had lied on some key questions. So the investigators quickly sensed that Jamie was an accessory or had something to do with it, and that potentially Buddy, Janelle's father, was the prime suspect, despite apparently
Buddy being compromised.
Despite apparently being very ill and incapable.
Buddy, exactly. But hold on, shootings. Oh, he cut someone's throat as well. That has sort of femaleness all over it, though, doesn't it?
Anyway,
kind of passion. Sorry.
Kind of. So they sensed that Jamie had been involved, or maybe had been forced to be involved, and that he was afraid of Buddy and had no other choice. So they suggested to him that perhaps all he did was cut the throat after Buddy shot the man, and they were trying to basically rile him into a kind of false confession, so that they could pin it all on Buddy. And after an interview,
blame it on the Buddy.
Blame it on. I don't get that one.
It works. Blame it on the boogie.
Oh yes, sorry. That was good.
That was good.
Jean.
You're on fire. So eventually they pieced together enough grunts and yes from Jamie to compile a statement, and Jamie signed it, pointing Buddy as the gunman. But before the interrogation was finished, Jamie turns around and asks the investigators, "Are the CIA here?" And the investigators, Agent Mike Hannon, was like, "No, why would the CIA be here?" And then Jamie was like, "Oh, Janelle's brother Chris is he's mad about things, something, just kind of like, let it drown out, right?" But little did they know that he had just blurted out the key to the case. So they set him up to call Buddy and ask Buddy had he gotten rid of the knife and the gun used at the killings. And when he called the house, it was Barbara that answered. So Barbara knew that Jamie had been down at the sheriff's department, and Barbara asked how it went. Now, bear in mind, Barbara and Marvin, Buddy, don't know about their relationship, but they still have a friendship.
Will you shut up, Colleen? The game is over. The totes are gone. Well done. Who went for a smoke?
Oh, no.
No, you have some. It could have other things.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Oh, bingo from you as well.
Bingo.
Well done, everyone. Sleep dreaming. Now,
oh yeah, because we're at the point where the CIA get involved.
Oh yes, of course.
So, she rings.
We get it, Jenna. We believe you. We believe you.
Excellent work, guys. So Barbara and Buddy have a friendship with Jamie because he fixes their computer. So they think that he's a friend of Janelle's, and like they're all pals. So it's not unusual for him to be talking to Barbara on the phone. So Barbara asks him how the interview went. He says it all went fine. And she said Chris had sent them a message saying everything was good. Right? So like the investigators are hearing this and they're like, who the fuck is Chris?
Oh, thank God. I was like, who the fuck is Chris? But I was too scared to ask.
No. So Chris is this guy that Jamie, after his interview and confession, is like, it's, the CIA here. And he says that Janelle's brother, Chris, is angry about stuff, but he doesn't say that, he doesn't clarify what it is. Okay. So again, on the phone, Barbara says Chris has sent them a message. Then she puts Buddy on the phone and he confirms that he gets rid of the knife and the gun or whatever. So everything is kind of pointed at them and they go to arrest him. So that was fine. And two were being sent off to jail, 2 counts, first degree murder. They had an arrest warrant for Buddy. The only mystery that remained was who the fuck is Chris?
Oh, sorry.
So in the investigation afterwards, they seize as much evidence as they can find, including the computer from home. Right now, they think that they have a dad who's pissed off that there's these 2 people who've been abusing his daughter on Facebook. This kind of like romantically involved dipshit who's just going along with it, and that the motive is that they were mean to his daughter.
Gotcha.
But then they seize the computer and all of this all of this evidence emerges, and they print out emails upon emails upon emails of everybody communicating, right? So after hours of reading, this one prosecutor, Dennis Brooks, finally comes across emails from someone called Chris. Chris claims to be a CIA agent, and he wrote to Jamie and Barbara, not through any official CIA accounts, but through Janelle's email address, which he had access to, apparently.
Well, now.
So they receive emails from Janelle, but they're actually from Chris. He also contacts them through Janelle's Facebook account, where he further converses, especially with Barbara, never using any online account of his own, always Janelle's. There was emails going back and forth between Chris and Barbara, Chris and Buddy, Chris and Jamie for over a year. It didn't take too long to determine that Chris was just a homicidal maniac. He used really ridiculous language, hated people, said he killed people, but killed them legally because it was all part of his duties as a CIA agent. That's what the emails had said.
Janelle, come on.
But despite claiming his employment, he seemed to lack really basic grammar and often misspelled words. His writings were a mess, and it was abundantly clear to the prosecutor that Chris was not a CIA agent. But they were like, as odd as it is that someone might pose as a CIA agent and write all these ridiculous, you know, murderous thoughts, it's worse that they believed it. And they ignored every clue that Chris was not who he said he was. Jamie...
That's because they were having fun. They thought they were involved in some kind of cool CIA thing.
Until the CIA agent leads them to believe that he is there to protect Janelle and that it's the CIA are watching over her, and therefore, though they've never met in person and he can't go do it themselves, they should go and kill Billy and Billie Jean on the CIA's behalf. So that's what they go off and do, thinking that the murder...
Oh my God. So Chris basically just needs to be in sales.
Yeah, essentially, right?
Amazing.
So, and like the emails going back and forth between them all are mad. They never meet up. And it's very, very obvious to the prosecutors that they have been catfished. And yeah, essentially that's what happened. Chris was like, off you go and kill them. It's a sanctioned CIA killing, so that when it comes to prosecution, don't worry about it. Even in the conversations that Buddy and Jamie have after they've been convicted, they're like, oh, they're just looking for someone to point the finger at. This is just going to blow over. The CIA are going to look after it. It takes a really long time before they realize that they've been absolutely catfished.
Oh
but I mean,
and
there
the
was
investigators
an IQ problem here.
All round, yeah.
Of the entire clan.
Absolutely.
And
right?
acquaintances.
And at first then people were like, you know, the investigators even were like, well, it can't be Janelle, like she's got issues.
She's just this innocent diabetic virgin.
But the thing is, she's like her only real, they're parading her out as if she's a child. Her parents are really strict in looking after her.
What age was she?
She's like 30 something now.
And the only actual thing she has is her diabetes, and she's hard of hearing. But even in this, I put this in because I thought it was a really mean description, but like I also felt like it could be a description of me, and that's why I don't feel bad reading it out. But in the prosecutor Dennis has written a book about this, and in his book he said how at first they didn't think it was her because she was so incapable, and he describes her as she was tall for a female, 6 feet tall to be exact. When she walked, she had a lanky, awkward gait, shoulders sort of forward, a walk like she was hunchbacked. Her face could look almost attractive in one picture, but fall well short of the bar in the next. She was too socially awkward to make many friends, and she wasn't invited to many parties.
Oh, Cassandra.
Absolutely cuttingly
so
bad.
mean. So mean. Unnecessary detail, right? But anyway, investigation continued. little simple kind of search of the IP, the emails were coming from inside
The
Janelle,
house.
inside her computer. And Janelle catfished her parents into killing 2 people that she just didn't like because
Pretty to live.
But Billy hadn't chosen her, and instead she had ordered
The vicious
them
bitch.
to be killed.
Wow.
So all of them, Barbara, Janelle,
Gypsy.
Jamie.
Is anyone else? When I'm
Buddy.
thinking of Janelle, there's only one teen mom I can picture. Remember her?
Yeah.
MTV teen
yeah.
mom. Fucking. Actually, she fits this image. Well, no, tall.
So there you have
Anyway.
it. They all end up in some
What
shape or
happened to
form
her?
in prison.
She's gone
in-
for life.
Yeah, because she's it's murder by proxy. She was
Murdered by Munchausen. So
there was loads of like stuff weird, the whole weird stuff in there. Like it really seems like her parents kept her secluded and led everyone to believe that she was much sicker and much more incapable than she was.
Gypsy Rose.
Yeah, strong Gypsy Rose vibes.
Very strong Gypsy Rose vibes.
And like, are they all sentenced to long prison terms, or will they be getting back together for some like weird family,
I'm pretty sure
dinner anytime soon?
Pretty sure Buddy and Jamie got consecutive life sentences. Not sure about
Janelle.
Janelle and her mother also ended up in prison. So
Sad for that.
there you
Well,
have it.
deserved. Thank you, Cassie. That was marvelous.
God,
Hard
that
to
was
follow.
Crazy.
But solid.
Crazy story. Let's get another creep vibe.
Yeah.
Over behind creep door number 3.
Oh, do you know, this is giving me the dating serial killer. You know,
Yeah.
my man. What's his name again?
Geez, we only had him a few weeks ago.
I know.
Who?
Handsome devil.
Rodney.
Rodney.
Rodgers, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's quite good. This one's a succinct. Now let me just make sure that
Hi, Una.
Hi, Una.
Bingo for you. Congratulations.
Sorry.
You win nothing. Hey, she's back. Hello, Una. Oh, she's going to show us her dick. Come on. The phone's on the bed. You just unzip the pants there, flop it out onto the camera. Oh, just her face.
Okay. Are we right?
We're right.
Behind creep door number 3, we have a creepette seeking a creep.
Traditional.
She's going by the name Creep Thrive. The creep dive character that most resembles me is Anna Delvey, socialist hero. A little bit of high culture, a lot of scamming the rich. Class war, but make it fashion. Hashtag eat the rich. Love it.
She sounds diabetic.
The creep dive character that I would most like to romance with my body is the lead hiker from the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Oh, yes, I agree with that. He was like 23, led a whole team of older than him, cocksure, good at hiking, survival man. Bear Grylls, except ending in tears.
Exactly. As she says, my perfect bae is a fearless, outdoorsy Soviet. And not even a catabatic wind can keep him from ripping off all of his clothes and going mad with his mates.
Harry, is she? Oh no, I thought you were giving us his name. Anyway, go on.
My ideal date is in quarantine. It's a bit like that episode on the self-cloning crayfish. But in an ideal world, it's a wholesome tale of getting catfished hard and ending up with a Turkish model. My secret talent is finding the Irish for creepy words. Neil Aunach Shlimadur.
Nailed that.
No, I didn't. Shlimadur. I think I did. Shlimadur Aoife. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. He's just a rotten creep. Okay, you ready? Say it with me. Neil Aunach Shlimadur.
Neil Aunach Shlimadur Aoife.
Very beautiful, Jen. Gotta get that. Okay. The creepiest thing about me is fermentation. When I'm not pickling myself, I like to play alchemy with tiny vegetables.
The same for me.
This is brilliant. A little about me. Opinionated, comedy-loving, book-reading creepette. Just a regular Polly the Goose looking for her Andy the Gander.
Oh,
So that, any males out there in the
what we
creep
call her?
ether,
She
that's
could-
she's Creep Thrive and she's behind creep door number 3.
the pickler.
So she's the pickler and she is a lady seeking a male creep.
Vinegar fingers.
Okay, I'll give you another
Spicy.
one, shall I?
Spicy. Spicy
Okay.
gusset.
Now,
Are there any straight men here? I'd say there are a few, but I would guess that they could be sitting next to their other. I don't know. What do I know?
I don't know. We're generalizing. If you're a straight man, let yourself.
You're more
be
than
known.
welcome.
yeah, you can do the raise hand function on the Zoom.
Didn't know that. What does that
What
mean?
does that do?
So that's where if you go up to your own little Zoom window
Mhm.
and you wait, that's not how you do it.
Spotlight video.
No, you could do the how do you do it again? Wait a minute. Under
Alan,
reactions.
you're married. See yourself out.
Go, it's in reactions, everyone says. There.
Hey!
All right.
Thumbs
Okay.
up. So any straight single males want to do a thumbs up? No, of course they don't. Look at Luke and Mr. Luke. So smug. Smug marrieds there.
Yeah. Rub it in, guys.
Okay, I've got another one here. This is a creepette seeking a human. She is tallish, buck teeth, and average looking, a dream combination.
Sounds like
And-
Janelle.
The creep dive character that most resembles me is Stoffel, because I look meek and mild, but don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
And oh my god, so much love for anybody who loves Stoffel. One of my all-time faves.
Absolutely.
The creep dive character that I would most like to romance with my body. Jesus Christ. None of them so far. I shudder at the thought. To see what I did, I was trying to make you think that she'd said Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was all in.
Sexy
You
son
should
of
do him,
God.
actually. Creep of the week for not saving us from COVID.
My ideal
It's
date is
punishment.
Lord of the Rings Trilogy Marathon Extended Editions. So that is a very specific human that you're looking for. My secret talent is moving my middle toes independently from the rest and my double jointed fingers, which could come in handy.
That is too far for me.
I don't know, Jen. I think this next one is going to get you back. The creepiest thing about me is my collection of teeth, kidney
Right,
stones, bones, and skulls.
I wonder what the biggest kidney stone she has is.
Also, my
God.
utter fascination with cannibalism. Hello, yes. A little bit about me. Red lipstick wearing, whiskey drinking, vintage loving fangirl. Interests include art, reading. Oh, I'm going to embarrass myself now. Lotre? L-O-T-R-E? What's that stand
Lord of the
for?
Rings.
Okay,
Is
sorry.
it?
Oh,
Maybe.
well done, Cassie.
Podcasts, true crime, history,
Episiotomy.
I can't say it. Epidemiology. There we go. Movies and so much more. Experienced humane spider catcher. This is a very positive.
Deirdre's offering.
You're getting a
friendship.
lot of friendship offers here.
I think that's so shit,
Aw.
though. We need a dick. Is she
Someone
looking for
has
dick?
said there's
No,
a
she's
single
looking for a
straight
human.
man.
Well, nobody needs to respond in real time if you are like a single straight dick out there and you like the sound
Is that
of
what
our
she's looking
beautiful
for, though?
creepette. Yeah. Oh well, human. She's specified human.
Yeah. That's
So I
either
think
or.
that's a freer.
She
Okay.
says.
Well, there you go.
Excellent.
There's no shortage of gays in here.
So
No
what's
offense.
her name? Epidemiology lady.
Well, yeah, she's behind door number 4, and she likes
4.
epidemiology. She collects teeth.
Kidney stones.
Suck the teeth right out of your face.
She could suck some teeth out of your dented. You remember that film, The Vagina Teeth? Either, depending
Oh,
on what
what's
she-
it called? It's like
Vagina and dentu.
Fetus and fetu.
Close but different.
Oh, it's literally called teeth. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Fair.
Yeah.
Vagina dentata. Condition. Just a-
Oh.
Anyway, that was marvelous. And
Okay,
that's
will
our
I give
4
you my...
experts.
Well, there's 4. I have 2 more.
All right.
Will I give you my flash? Oh no, I've launched GarageBand. Oh, do you know when you launch one of those really needy programs?
And it
Everything
just
gets
bounces
fucked
there.
up.
Oh, it's just gonna have a whole...
Don't worry, Sophie,
shit
because
show
we're
there.
running on.
Okay.
So, do you want to give us another love bomb before For door number 5, should we even it out? Hand a slap of it.
Okay, hang on. You want me to finish the creep vibes? Hang on.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Okay, so there's 2 more left. My story tonight is like 4 sentences long, so I'll throw us out on a really fast, vicious story. So okay, let me see. Let me just look through this inbox because I need to get all the
importante ones.
Yeah, the actual. As you know, house creeping is not my strong point.
Now, Sophie, you can save them for next week, so no stress. And 4 could be a good number.
Can I do it for next week?
Yeah, why not? We could do this every week.
Would people be disappointed? Oh, I know people, yeah.
Oh, people, well, no. Sure, it's only a week. You could just finger job yourself until then.
Okay.
What's the consensus in the side chat?
Every week, says Josefa.
Well, we do it every week.
Do it now.
Okay, hang on.
Do it now, but then everyone has to send in more for next week.
Now. Yeah, okay. Come on, Soph.
Okay. So it's stressing me out.
Sorry, we're
Stop
also,
it, Jen.
as pointed
Okay,
out.
here's a really good one. Okay, here's a good one, right? Title, Lock Up Your Zaddies. I am a homosexual creep seeking same to dominate me the way Joe Exotic does his tigers.
Sorry.
Literally.
Okay, we'll listen to a little bit more, but like we could have a pairing in the creeps.
I know. And actually, there's 2 things about this that make me think that could happen. So this is, okay, creep door number 5.
But we're just knowing that this person is a homosexual. What flavor of homosexual are they?
He's a creep.
He.
Yeah. Okay, so the creep type character that most resembles me is Typhoid Mary. I'm a simple guy with traditional values, and like her, I believe there's nothing wrong with me at all, and I'm always right. And I also love baking and a good infectious disease. Hi, Miss Corona. The creep type character that I would most like to romance with my body is Oyster Man, which is brave.
Oh,
Thinking about him gives me
but
a semi.
quirky.
This is brilliant. Thinking about him gives me a semi as I'm really into outdoor fun. And this is the best now. This is the best bit. Call back to a previous personals. My ideal date is April 25th.
Oh!
All you need is a light jacket. I mean, creep love could be in the air.
Sophie, Oyster Man is, yeah, it's one way or the other with that though. That could be a real turn off for some people. Obviously not me, but some people.
This is the best. My secret talent is passive aggressively putting my used cutlery and dirty plates on other people's tables at the cafe.
Oh, remember that story?
That was fantastic.
That's brilliant.
That was a great one.
The creepiest thing about me is I was clinically dead for 30 seconds and have a big scar to prove it. If things go well for you, I might show it to you some night.
Excuse me?
Will you show it to 210 of your closest creep friends?
Please.
We need to know if there's a heaven.
A little about me.
Did he mention that?
No, Jen doesn't go into that. Muscular angels?
What? Do you think he's serious about having died for 38 seconds?
Oh my God, Jen, now's not the time to get existential. We were trying to set people up in love.
Okay, so a little about me. I am a fun to be around guy with a passion for healthcare and musical theatre. I'm looking for the one. So if you're ready to settle down forever, let me know. Otherwise, I'm happy to be strung along for a few weeks or months, whatever you think is best.
Oh God.
That is brilliant. So that is our creep-seeking creep behind door number 5. Okay, and then
that is absolutely that quality. We've had everybody who's written in there. It sounds like someone I would 100% go on a date with. Are you 2 in agreement?
Absolutely. I'm devastated.
Advice to you, Jen, would be not to go on a date with the person who showed an expressed interest in you, because I think that would be a really intense relationship.
That would be a very, very intense date.
It seems like an easy in.
I think we have a great little relationship blossoming. I'm so giddy with the excitement. I can't wait till 2026 when we can go to a wedding again.
Okay. Oh my God. Can we officiate? If there is a creep wedding, highly unlikely, I know, but just in case, can we be the people who do the wordy, speaky things?
Oh my God, yes. Why wouldn't you want that to be us?
Okay. Behind creep door number 6, we're nearly there. It's 2 creeps left, right? Behind creep door number 6, I am a creepette seeking fellow like-minded creepette. The creep type character that most resembles me is GPO girl. I too love traveling and going to new and exciting places like O'Connell Street. I'm very fond of attention. Diabetic. The creep dive character that I would most like to romance with my body is Typhoid Mary. She's an excellent cook, has a passion for her craft, and won't let any man keep her down.
Hear that, Ross?
It was always going to happen. She did it with 3 minutes to go. My ideal date is a dip in the sea, followed by some craft beer, delicious food, and excellent conversation. Long walk on the beach, also desirable. My secret talent is that despite rarely doing yoga pre-COVID, I'm surprisingly flexible. There's a little kind of
winky
kind of
face.
Oh yeah.
Hey-oh.
I also make a delicious chocolate Guinness cake, also lovely banana bread, but I think we've all had enough.
I actually think like this person sounds like if you squished me and Sophie together.
I was just thinking
into one creature.
This is the person who I replied to saying, "Is this Cassie catfishing me?" This is you, Cassie. Okay,
I do love all of those things.
Oh wait, her other secret talent is I can guess your star sign with 50% accuracy. Amazing. Very hard to challenge that, but given that you're anonymous.
I think she's holding back. She sounds kind of interesting.
The creepiest thing about me is that I have a Virgo sun and a Virgo moon in my chart, thus doubling the likelihood of me being a serial killer. I'm really into this.
Very.
Okay.
Yeah, she's mysterious.
A little about me. I'm a 26-year-old lesbian who is way too into astrology and podcasts. I'm spending my quarantine working, attempting to do yoga, and cooking, baking. Outside of quarantine, I enjoy weights, swimming, drinking too much craft beer and cocktails, and brunch. Ideally looking for someone I can adopt a chicken with. And who is mysteriously rich. That is when I exactly was like, that's a fucking 100% Cassie Delaney.
I am not mysteriously rich. I am understandably very poor.
No, she's looking for someone who's mysteriously rich, just like you are.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Okay, last creep of the evening is behind door number 7. She is a creepette seeking a like-minded creeper. So we have another female seeking male, another straight couple, who has interest in long walks under the moonlight to dispose of dead memories high in the Dublin mountains. I tend to go for the quiet and misunderstood types that like to disguise themselves with facial hair and slow speech. They tend to disappear after a glass of poutine when I go for walks up to the Hellfire Club. Simply put, I'm a Darky Kelly type who's looking for a hell of a good time. But if you bring up murderers from outside of Ireland, I have friends capable of pishogue, so you better be able to tell a good story or two. The creep dive character that most resembles me is, if Darky Kelly is not an option, definitely going to do Darky Kelly. We actually had her scheduled for one of the live shows. We will put her back on the menu. So if Darky Kelly is not an option, it would have to be Typhoid Mary. She was a sweetheart that had a dark edge. She had a lot of love to share amongst other things.
She did.
But most of all, she did it in a kind and unknowing way. I love Typhoid Mary's popularity here. My ideal date is a trip to the Hellfire Club with cans and cozy blankets to stargaze. The second option would be a sleepover in Leap Castle or Loftus Hall where we can listen to Creep Dive all night.
Oh my God, no, do not
The three of us are doing this.
Oh,
We're going to go to the Hellfire.
Loftus Hall, my friend.
Okay.
I'm bumping it a level.
door number 7's secret talent is by far the best of the night. I convinced Johnny Logan's son to date me for 2 weeks. It left a haunting taste in both of our mouths, especially when he ghosted me. Brilliant. We were the rock and roll kids. Rock and roll was all we did. Okay, a little about me. Cousin It's understudy with a passion for loud music, big dresses, and red lipstick addiction thanks to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Also, I am passionate about professional wrestling. And if you don't like the sound of that, you might prefer the taste of my poisonous plants.
She's been on to us.
Oh, yeah?
I've talked to somebody who knew a lot about wrestling in the DMs.
Ooh, after the
I won't out you.
Chris
I
Benoit.
won't out you.
Do not out her. Okay, if you want a good description of me, a friend from the shadows once described me as a mix between a nun and a witch. So let's hope we can kindle a flame, because Tinder is boring and telling ghost stories is class.
Yeah,
It is.
It is. So that is our
sounds good.
creep behind door number 7.
So if you listen, if you like,
Maybe I might do a post. I might do a post
Yeah.
on the Patreon page just with a little summary again
Yeah.
of
in case you
our
forgot.
creeps seeking creeps, just so we can all be
Yeah.
reminded.
Still though, the mouth popper. Still, I'm gonna go off and find out what the fuck that is.
Johnny Logan is a ride. damn right, Neve.
So there you are.
There you are. Will I see you? Will I see you out with a savage 4-sentence creep?
Give
Do
it.
it.
Okay. Right. Ja-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay. It's the early 80s, and a billionaire has invited a group of his 5 friends to sail on his yacht named Trash Man from Maryland to Florida. Not long into the journey, the group suffered their first maritime nightmare when a violent storm caused the yacht to capsize, leaving the passengers stranded on a small dinghy without food or water. One of the passengers sustained minor injuries, which sadly drew the massive sharks to the boat. But she wasn't the first to die. Instead, the first victim was a passenger who, delirious from subsisting on seawater and alcohol, jumped in the sea after thinking he had seen land. Except the land was sea, and there were sharks everywhere. All of a sudden, we just heard this shrill scream, said one of the survivors. Then it was over. Silence. There was no crying, nothing. There was no doubt what got him. The sharks got him. Yeah, they did. It didn't stop there. Not long after, another man on the boat jumped into the water after notifying the others he was going to buy beer and cigarettes.
Yes, just popping out for his cigarettes.
God, just be back. I'm back in a minute. Just be right back. While the remaining passengers tried to stop him, they were ultimately unsuccessful, and they felt another shark devour him underneath the boat. Then the passenger who had sustained injuries during the capsize died from blood poisoning. And while one passenger, Brad Kavanagh, considered eating her body, instead they decided to give their deceased friend a burial at sea. She too was eaten by sharks. Natch. Like, after 5 days of horrific conditions, the 2 survivors managed to flag down a cargo ship which saved them as they were on the brink of death. And Brad Kavanagh is still alive and reportedly making his money as a mariner to this day. So there's my short of a creep.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for coming.
We'll
So, see you next week, creepos.
Bye. Thanks
Bring your
for
straight male
creeping.
friends.
Yes, definitely do.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Adios. Have a great week. Stay alive. Oh, bye.
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 Bye. Stop touching your faces.